Top 10 Greatest TGIF Shows of All Time. Hello and welcome back to Superstar 10s. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Today, we came with the top 10 greatest TGIF shows of all time. Let's start with the number 10. 10. Hang In with Mr. Cooper. Never underestimate the energy of an amazing lead-in. Hang In with Mr. Cooper benefited substantially from this at first. Wait to its role following Full House on Tuesday. Both indicates additionally shared a writer with inside the shape of writer or manufacturer Jeff Franklin. Although Cooper misplaced its Full House lead-in whilst it moved to Fridays, it nonetheless controlled to discover a fan following. Way to a likable ensemble solid that blanketed Holly Robinson Pete and Raven Simone. Hang In with Mr. Cooper may also have commenced out as an extra adult-oriented sitcom. However, its repositioning with extra family pleasant fare solidified its locations as a dependable part of the TGIF lineup. 9. Sister Sister. If one Maori sister is good, then two should be good, right? Well, that math certainly seemed to make sense to TGIF viewers. Sister Sister was a staple of ABC's Friday Night Family for the first year, but it was operating steadily for 6 seasons. The show relied on the charisma of its renowned twin Reed and the relationship between co-star Tim Reed and Jackie Harry. Sister Sister was generally lighthearted and cute, although a very special episode would occasionally show up to give the sitcom storyline some diversity. Make no mistake, however, it was Tia and Tamira that helped lift Sister Sister to its status as a well-remembered 90s TGIF hit. 8. Step by Step. Step by Step followed in the footsteps of the Danny Thomas Show, The Brady Brunch, and featured a mixed family. There were also really impressive talents with big resumes, such as Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Somers. Former My Two Dads star Stacey Keenan leads a solid family of child co-stars who formed the family of Lambert and Foster. The cast of this diverse actor breaks away from step-by-step prominence in the TGIF pack. Made it possible to do. The relationship between Somers and Duffy's character in particular came across as particularly romantic and genuine, so it was easy to follow this family's adventure every week. 7. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Let's give a little respect to the OG badass witch. Long before the Netflix series gives this Archie Comics character a new, adult-oriented makeover, Sabrina the Teenage Witch was making her mark as a part of the TGIF lineup. Melissa Joan Hart embodied the character of Sabrina Spellman for many fans of a certain age, and the show didn't feel too far removed from that classic Archie Comics wholesomeness. Her relationship with her aunts Hilda and Zelda was also well-defined, helped along by co-stars Carolyn Rhee and Beth Broderick. Add to this Salem, the talking cat, and you have what was essentially a silly, lighthearted but extremely fun part of the TGIF experience. 6. Muppets Tonight. Muppets Tonight may be a bit of a deep cut, but we'd argue that this brief entry into the Jim Henson family canon deserves reinvestigation. The show was an attempt by Henson and his Muppets to do another sort of variety show similar to what the Muppet Show did in 1970s. Muppets Tonight was presented more like a television talk show than an old-school variety program. The humor was also updated for the 90s, although much of that classic Muppet zaniness was still fully on display. Muppets Tonight also boasted some incredible guests including Paula Abdul, Billy Crystal, and even Prince. Not too shabby. 5. Boy Meets World. We're going to be entering some of the top-tier nostalgia from here on out, so strapped in for a trip down memory lane. Boy Meets World is well remembered by fans as one of the most affecting and beloved TGIF shows of all time. There was genuine affections for Corey Matthews, Topanga Lawrence, and Sean Hunter, as well as a major interest in where their lives would head from season to season. Boy Meets World simply seemed to strike a chord, so much so that a spin-off would be created years later with Girl Meets World, continuing Matthews' story into parenthood. 4. Full House. Fans of Full House receive a tragic reminder of their TGIF past with the untimely passing of Bob Saget in 2022. Full House meant so much to a certain generations of television viewers that they tune in years later to watch the Fuller House reboot on Netflix. It's unlikely that we'll ever see such a guileless sitcom as Full House again, as it was indicative of that earnest, old-school style of sitcom screenwriting. But this is why we love it. It takes us back to a more innocent time where we could forget our problems and relax, allowing the extended Tanner family and their stories to put our minds, for the moment at least, at ease. 3. Dinosaurs. If Full House was a sitcom that was of its time, then Dinosaurs is a show that's frankly become better with age. Perhaps it's because we as an audience are now adults and can recognize how daring, smart, and satirical the writing on Dinosaurs was, particularly for the time. Additionally, we appreciate the craftsmanship that went into the charming sets and amazing animatronics that Jim Henson Company created for us with this prehistoric situations comedy. Of course, we also can't discuss Dinosaurs without mentioning that legendary Downbeat series finale, where our entire cast of characters is wiped out by an ice age. Damn TGIF, that's cold. 2. Family Matters. Family Matters was one of those unique shows that were able to balance some intense moments of drama with some of the most surreal and silly comedic situations imaginable. The latter occurred primarily during the later seasons, courtesy to Jaleel White's Steve Urkel. As it went on, the character essentially took over the show for better or worse. However, it was the strong bond between the Winslow family that helped solidify Family Matters early on as the cornerstone of the TGIF lineup. Reginald Phil Johnson's Carl Winslow, in particular, brought some gravitas to the episode that dealt with real-life issues like racial profiling and gun violence. 1. Perfect Strangers. Not everyone remembers that Family Matters was a spin-off, but hardcore TGIF fans can recall its parent show, Perfect Strangers. The show was a huge hit, running for 8 seasons and featuring some of the most dynamic physical comedy of its day. The magical chemistry between leads Mark Lynn Baker and Bronson Pitchett was unlike any other comedy duo at the time. A sort of odd couple update with madcap humor all their own. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing video from us.